No, the really crazy part of me wants to play both episode 4 and 5 tonight. The more rational part of me is like, no, no, wait until next week to do the fifth and final one that's out right now. But it's so fun. What can I say? You open your eyes. It's a new day. Last night seems so far away. You can almost pretend the horrors you witnessed in the annex were nothing but a nightmare, chased away by the harsh morning light. An involuntary shudder runs down your spine. But your thoughts are interrupted by the buzz of your phone on the nightstand. Hope you made it home okay. Haven't heard from Stella since last night. How about you? You check your messages. There's nothing from Stella. Hey, what's up? Haha, just kidding. I'm not able to come to the phone right now. This is actually a recording of my voice. It isn't really me. Technology, huh? Anyways, leave a message. Or don't. I never check this thing. The mailbox is full and can't accept messages at this time. Wayne guy didn't come after you, did he? Oh my gosh. That was the best option, I think. You wait for a few silent minutes. And yet, can't say I'm surprised. Does Stella disappear like this sometimes? Kinda. But with everything going on, I don't feel comfortable letting her run off on her own. We should look for her, right? Come to town, we should stick together. Looks like you have your morning plans in order. Hello. The two opossums stare up at you. They both have a bread now. How nice. You're not playing dead. Hi, guys. You close the drawers. This is their home now, and there's nothing you can do to change that. I wouldn't want to be honest. Feels good to wash away the grime of last night's haunting, but eventually you'll have to leave this place and confront the rest of the day. In the meantime, you think about the afterlife. It's undeniably real at this point, and what you've seen is terrifying. So true. How's everyone doing tonight? Yo. Nah, it moved. I'm done. Mm-mm. But your long dead relative's creepy doll isn't the only thing that's different. Someone was in here. Something to mull over for the rest of the day. Just what I need. You find her in the kitchen, her shoulders hunched in a tight ball of anxiety. Me too. They weren't bluffing after all. They're actually striking. And this week of all weeks, so I didn't have enough on my plate already. I had time to make some arrangements last night, so at least the mind can keep running on a skeletal crew while I sort this out. Thanks for telling me. If history is anything to go off of here, it almost doesn't matter how strong the strike seems. Oh, Joe. Thank you for the gift sub. It's very cool of you. This is Tabitha's battle to lose. There isn't a union in Scarlet Hollow, which means a proper strike isn't even legal. Your cousin can do pretty much whatever she wants. She could fire everyone and wait them out, for instance, or pick and choose her targets. That being said, does it even matter how the strike plays out? Any resolution would merely treat the symptoms of the disease rotting the heart of Scarlet Hollow. Good night, Joe. Thank you again for popping on in. For things to stand any chance of getting better, there's something deeper you still have to fully uncover. I liked that we had a combo of book smart and mystical stuff there. That's fun. Hmm. Just fire all of them is crazy. Naturally, gotta do the mystical thing at the very least. A strike is just a symptom of the rot in this place, Tabitha. If we don't treat the underlying disease, it won't even matter who wins. You weirdo. Nobody talks like that. Not even Sybil talks like that. But it's not even worth arguing about this. They won't last long. Do you know what the strikers even want? I haven't seen a list of demands. I'm sure it's just the usual. I promise you that if any one of them were in my shoes for a month, they'd be singing a different tune. So you're bringing in scabs? Yes, I'm bringing in scabs, if that's what you want to call them. And there's plenty of miners who are going to report to work today for business as usual. Look, you don't know how hard this is. I'm just trying to keep the place running, and every day it finds a new and hellish way to collapse around me. Hmm. Have you heard anything from Stella? I can't get a hold of her. No, but that's not exactly newsworthy. I'm sure she's just processing what happened last night. We weren't the only ones who were traumatized. It feels good, doesn't it? Getting rid of something our family left behind like that. Sure. But you did most of the heavy lifting there. Aw. I just feel like saying this would not lead to anything helpful. And also, I don't think Scarlet would say it anyways, so you probably should get going, right? Yeah. I've dawdled long enough. Stay safe. No more hijinks. Well, let me know if you get in trouble, okay? It makes me unreasonably happy. Tabitha slips past you, her heavy boots thudding down the hall as she marches away to face her employees. Time to figure out the rest of your day. If Stella's MIA, who knows when you'll get the chance to eat. True. PB&J. Wanna explore the garden again. Gosh darn it. The sun shines down through a thin layer of clouds, illuminating the path in a watery gray light. You can't help but feel countless eyes watching you from the tree line, a feeling that reminds you of your time in the woods with Stella. Ditchlings shouldn't be out in the middle of the day, though. They're getting bolder. To your surprise, you find a familiar face making its way up the path towards you. Hey, I was just coming up to see you. Hope you were able to get some sleep after everything that happened last night. I was up most of the night, totally wired on adrenaline. How do you feel now that it's a new day? Possession is the sort of thing that can leave a mark on a person's soul. Ugh, thanks for asking about the state of my soul. I appreciate that. I'd be lying if I said it didn't have an impact. I kind of feel bruised all over, physically and spiritually. But hey, that's part of life, right? Nobody makes it to the end completely unscathed. And I'm kind of thrilled that my new emotional baggage comes from a ghost instead of some boring normal trauma. We pick and choose our battles, I suppose. You're coming up to see me? That's sweet. What can I say? I'm someone who knows what they want. Oh! I would have walked up here at the crack of dawn, but I figured I should let you sleep at least a little longer. Though, not too much longer. I had to make sure you didn't go running off into trouble. Not without me. There's stitchings everywhere now, even though it's daytime. Avery turns to survey the tree line. I noticed a few on my way up. They're kind of funny, now that I'm getting a good look at them, with their scrunched up little Shar-Pei faces. So, should I be worried about these things? I know they're a bad omen or something, but like, are they dangerous? They're not going to eat me if I take a wrong turn, right? Just use it as an... Why would you ever say that, ever? You need only fear what they foretell. Okay, cool and ominous. As long as being eaten alive isn't on the table. Unless they're foretelling a zombie invasion or something with werewolves, in which case I guess I'm still stuck with being eaten alive. Have you heard anything from Stella? I haven't heard from her, though we don't text much, and I haven't checked with Winnie to see if she came in for an early breakfast or anything. But if you haven't heard from her, that doesn't sound great. Seeing her like that last night was awful. She's usually so unflappable. Nika and I are meeting up to look for Stella. Wanna come? Absolutely. I told Winnie I'd be coming in late today, so I've got time. I don't know how much time, though. From what I saw this morning, there's already a few miners holed up in there. They must be using it as home base for the strike. You and Avery start back down the path to town. It isn't long until you once again find yourself on the main street of Scarlet Hollow. Starlet, you made it, and you picked up an Avery along the way. Hope you're both doing okay, like, emotionally. Yeah, not too bad. Better after seeing Starlet. That's good. I feel like I got crushed by a steamroller or something. Joints all out of whack, totally exhausted, and super foggy. Mom has been insisting I caught a cold. I wasn't buying it, but as of this morning, I've come around. It's definitely something beyond exhaustion, even considering the ridiculously stressful week we've all had. But I'm not gonna let that stop me from looking for Stella. Do you still think there could be a rational explanation for all of this? Kanika sighs heavily. Rational? Sure. Rooted in the reality that, until a few days ago, I thought was devoid of all magic and supernatural shit? No. Ghosts are real. They can suck you into illusory dimensions and puppet your body like a fleshy marionette. Next thing you know, we'll find out there's a secret society of warlocks running the country, or that angels are real. Gotta admit, it's kinda thrilling, isn't it? Anything could be possible. Who knows what the new day holds for all of us? It would be a little more thrilling if it weren't terrifying. All the magic stuff we've found so far just wants to hurt us. We need a magical being that's on our side. Where are where are the magical girls when you need them? Maybe my mystical powers will finally awaken into something more proactive. I'm sick of just unwillingly channeling spirits and knowing when something bad is going to happen. Maybe magic doesn't just awaken, though. Maybe you need to find someone to teach you how to use it. Okay, who? Isn't it obvious? Your mom's a witch, Kanika. How else can you explain her rescuing all of us last night? My mom? No way. She's just a new age crystal and herbs lady. She's not... I mean, she couldn't be, right? I mean, after last night, anything's possible. And she did rescue everyone from the ghost dimension. Is someone manning the general store while we go looking for Stella? Screw the general store. Mom can deal. Whoa, did I miss something? You good, Kanika? Just some family drama. I'm sure I was gonna take a sick day anyway. I don't want to infect the entire town with whatever cold this is. Instead, I'll just infect both of you and whoever else we come across while looking while looking for Stella. Let's not dawdle. I'm worried about Stella and it doesn't feel right to be doing anything that isn't actively looking for her. Agreed. Let's get to work. Where to first? Let's check out the church, because I'm intrigued. Why? It's a good question. I see what you're thinking. Stella was confronted with evidence of the afterlife, so she might try getting into all that religious stuff. It's worth checking out. I think we'd be barking up the wrong tree, but I guess you're right. There's no point in not being thorough. Wouldn't mind stocking up on some holy water while we're there too. Seems like a good idea to cover all our bases at this point, you know? There might be a point there. I don't think Baptists do the holy water thing, but I'm sure Pastor Daniel would pretend to bless some water if it meant keeping us around a little longer. That's good enough for me. Let's not linger, though. I don't want him thinking we're possible converts. Kanika leads the way, taking you up the gradual slope towards the church. You know, I've lived here for a few years now, and I've never actually been to the church. That's probably for a good reason. Where is that weirdo? My, 4 visitors at once on a Thursday? This is unprecedented. But there are only 3 of us. Oh no, were we followed by a ditchling? Were we followed by Wayne? Sup, old people? Oh, it's just saying. What are you doing here? All the glimpses of death I've had in the past 2 days have forced me into the midst of an existential crisis, my dudes. I wanted to see if faith held any answers for me. I think that's part of the reason why I went, to be honest, because I have no idea what goes on here. Alas, I have not yet found the solace I seek. Give it time, Zane. It sometimes takes a while for the Lord to work his way into your heart, but when he does, you won't regret letting him in. Be sure to look over those pamphlets I gave you. And of course, I'm always here if you need to talk. Sure thing, Pastor D. Peace, y'all. Anyway, we're looking for Stella. She wandered off last night, and no one has seen her since. You or Janie haven't seen her around, have you? I can't speak for Janie, but I'm afraid I've seen neither hide nor hair of Stella. If you'd like to talk to my wife, she's just over by the alpacas. So, Scarlet, I was hoping we might be able to talk in private. Why? What do you have to say to her that you can't say in front of us? Please, if you wouldn't mind, this is a personal matter. It's alright. We can get the juicy details later. I'd rather folks not pry on this. You know how rumors get started. Yeah, what do you have to say to me that you can't say in front of Kanika and Avery? Important things. I won't bite or anything. I promise. Stop smiling like that. And we can talk here, right in the open. I guess we'll leave you to it while we check in with Janie. We'll be right over there by the fence that's conveniently in your line of sight, okay? See you in a minute. He does have such a creepy aura, but now I'm even more intrigued. What the heck does he have to say about anything? Your friends head off towards Janie and the alpacas, leaving you alone with the nervous pastor. So glad you decided to come up to visit me. It wasn't for you. So many young people these days seem to think they can solve all their problems on their own. Meanwhile, God is right there, ready to help them, if only they'd let him into their hearts. The pastor's eyes dart back towards the alpacas. Okay, good. They're gone. You're new in town. What? What kind of impression did I make on you? Am I creepy? Huh? I like the cut of your jib is crazy. Why would you ever say that? Whenever I see you, it's like this ominous little piano starts playing. You're talking about a metaphorical piano, right? Because I can't say I've ever heard one following me around. It wasn't always like this, you know. Believe it or not, before I moved to Scarlet Hollow, I used to be pretty popular. I was one of the cool kids over at Harvard Divinity School. Okay, he looks so much more human-like right now. He's interrupted by the sounds of a snapping twig and a high-pitched giggle, partly muffled by the underbrush on the edge of the property. Tulip, come out of there. You know you're not supposed to play in the woods. Tulip glances back into the woods, quiet as she hesitates. Tulip, are you going to be good? Are we going to skip story time tonight? I'll be good. You don't have to skip story time. I won't go into the woods, I promise. I know you won't, Tulip, because you know it's too dangerous for little girls in there. Why don't you go help Mama with the alpacas? It's just about time they got fed. You can give them hay. Tulip smiles broadly, seemingly excited by the prospect, and hurries off. Sorry. I had to have a firm parenting moment just then. She's been trying to run off into those woods a lot lately, and it's really dangerous, even for adults. There's this massive trash dump not too far past the trees, but it must be at least 50 years old, so it's all grown over and looks like it's part of the landscape. But if you accidentally walk on it, you might find yourself falling into a hip-deep mound of rusty cans and broken glass. Tulip made up some imaginary friends and keeps telling us that they want her to go out there. Oh no. Like the word of some fictional creature she made up is going to convince us it's a good idea for her to play in somebody's old garbage. But she's 7. Of course she would get some funny little idea like that. No, dude. I hate to tell you. I'd love to get the community to rally around a big cleanup. It's about time somebody got rid of all that junk. Oh, Tetanus Lake? Stella told me about it. Tetanus Lake? That's an accurate name. I wonder if Tulip would stay away if I started calling it that. Or if it would only make it sound more alluring. Alluring? How big a trash dump are we talking? Would a weekend of hard work clear it out? Maybe if you had construction equipment and a team of professionals. It's a big area, and I have no idea how deep it goes. In the meantime, I'm just making sure Tulip knows not to go near it. What's that you were saying about imaginary friends? She's just been talking about these friends of hers lately. Little stories about creatures that live in the church. I'm sure she saw some animal in there and decided it was her friend. It's nothing to be overly concerned about, except the trash heap situation. I disagree. Out of the corner of your eye, you see Kanika and Avery walking back to the two of you. They must have finished talking to Janie. Janie says she hasn't seen Stella either, so we'd better get going. Thanks for suggesting we head up here, Scarlet. Got to feed the alpacas. They were so cute and soft. It was awesome. And Janie says she'll come by the diner with cookies for the miners. And a few extra for me, of course. Hope your talk with the pastor went well. Yeah, we had a great conversation. Appreciate you all stopping by, even if it wasn't under the best circumstances. I'll let y'all be on your way. And I hope Stella turns up soon. I'll put in some good prayers with the big man for her. Alright, thanks. See ya. Okay, I trust him a lot more than I did last episode now. I've seen him, look like a real person. I'm very curious about why he seems so creepy. And rest in peace, John. Kanika and Avery start back down the path to town, and you follow. So, what was that about? He seemed pretty insistent on talking to you alone. Yeah, he didn't say anything weird, did he? Um, Philip's apparently made some weird imaginary friends. We might want to check it out later this week. Kids make up imaginary friends all the time. Let's not get too distracted until we find Stella, though. Where to next? Oh, I feel like I haven't seen someone go to the mines yet either. I don't really know how much would be there necessarily, but we should go to the mines. Be a big part of the last update. I imagine so. But yeah, I'm really curious now why he's like even asking if he comes across as creepy to a newcomer. That's so interesting. I guess there's a decent chance Stella went to find your cousin, since they're friends. You don't see it. Oh, come on. The two of them have such a dynamic, you know? Classic dog and cat situation. You know, I wouldn't have thought about like the golden retriever black cat energy, but that might demise those two really well. Come on, I'll drive us. You follow Kanika to her van. It isn't long before you find yourselves outside the Scarlet Mines. Oh boy. There's a small gathering of workers outside the entrance to the mines, picket signs in hand. Is this a strike? They're striking? There was a whole group of them talking about it in the diner yesterday. Seems like the collapse was the last straw for some folks. Good for them, but I kind of thought there'd be more of them, you know? I hope it's not weird to talk to them while they're in the middle of all this. Don't worry. I know these guys. Most of them are in the diner at least a couple days a week. They'll be chill. Will they be chill talking to Tabitha's cousin, though? Well, if it isn't the boss's cousin, he might have had us fooled the other day, but word gets around fast. I don't know if this would be taken sarcastically. That would be how Scarlet would say it, though. So I don't know. How goes the strike? The boss managed to be a step ahead of us. Deployed some scare tactics that lost us a good chunk of support. I don't know who it is, but someone ratted. It's the only way she could have pulled this off. Oh no. There'll be hell to pay once we sniff him out. I believe she managed to scare folks back down into the mines, even with the collapse. I can't go back down there knowing the rock over my head could come down any second. I value my life way more than a paycheck. Only the boss had the same values, but she just has to make her bottom line. I know there's not a lot of us out here, but there's more of us at the diner, and there's more of us setting up mutual aid. But once people see our follow-through, they're going to join up. This is only the beginning. Let me know if there's anything the general store can do to help. Anything you can think of, we'll take it. We need all the support we can get right now. What are your grievances? We'd like competitive pay, 8-hour shifts instead of 12 or more. 12 or more? In a mine? Anywhere, really, but in a mine? Improvements to the sick day and vacation policies. And a thorough safety inspection before any of us step foot underground again. That collapse was way too close to the active mine for me to feel safe down there until I know for sure I won't wind up buried under 2 tons of rock. We want to change things. There's no reason we should be treated like we're a disposable workforce. If we're the ones making our money, we should be making money too, not just scraping by. That's a lot of grievances. Working here seems tough. Yeah. Do you think Tabitha can even make those changes without the mines going under? I'm sure she can figure it out. I'm not saying she's not a bad boss. People clearly aren't happy with her. But coal's getting used less and less, and I've seen that old Scarlet house. It's practically condemned. If she has money to spare, where is it going? I really didn't peg you as someone who'd go to bat for Tabitha. I'm not. I'm just trying to get the full picture here. And if the mine fails, I don't see how Aunt Winnie's diner doesn't fail with it. Okay, but that's the whole problem. A single family shouldn't be able to hold an entire town hostage. The workers need a say in the business. Fair enough. You know this isn't legal, right? She can just fire you all and not face any repercussions. She hasn't fired us yet. We're in a game of chicken right now, and we don't intend to blink. Fair enough. Have any of you seen Stella? She's missing. The YouTuber? She's the one on all the banned from property posters, right? We haven't seen her. And we've been out here all day, so we'd know if she'd come by. We'll make sure to keep an eye out. What do I need to say to Tabitha? I want to see what happens if I go talk to or try to. I don't know if they'll let me through. I need to talk to Tabitha. So you're saying you want to cross a picket line. Avery, can you help me out? Yeah, sure. I've got this. Y'all are regulars, and you know I've never gone snooping around the mines before. This is important. Your friend's a Scarlet, Avery. Who cares? She knows me and Kanika just as well as she knows Tabitha. And you've met her, right? I don't think that blood runs thick enough to sabotage a strike. I don't know. What do you think, Davis? I'll have Aunt Winnie throw in some free biscuits the next time y'all stop by the diner. Are you bribing us? Sure am. Okay. If free biscuits are on the line, then we won't put up a fuss, but she'd better not get up to any funny business there. She won't, I promise. And if they do, y'all can have free breakfast for a month. Fine. There you go. Thanks, Avery. I don't care if they're okay with you going in. I'm still not crossing a picket line. Besides, I don't think Tabitha would be too happy to see me. I'll just wait by the van while you go talk to her. Same. Everyone who works here is a regular at the diner. I don't want to make things weird. See you on the other side. The industrial noises of the Scarlet Mine are only a little quieter than they were 2 days ago. The trailer that serves as Tabitha's office looms above you on the hill. Just enter. You walk up to Tabitha's trailer and knock on the door. You wait for a moment. No response. Knock again. Oh, for the love of... The door swings open. Oh, it's you. Should I go? Yeah, try not to get yourself noticed. Hey, do you have a minute? It's important. I really don't, but you're already here, aren't you? Make it quick. Should I? I already said you can leave, Rodriguez. We'll talk more later. The door clicks shut closed. As Rodriguez leaves Tabitha's office. Oh my gosh. Whoa. The instant you're alone, Tabitha rounds on you. This is crazy. She grabs you by the collar, her face close to yours, eyes full of rage, her words a frustrated hiss. Listen to me, Starlet. Really, listen. This isn't some fun little game, okay? This is my life, and if you value yours, you'll keep quiet about what you just saw. I don't care if we're family. I can make the rest of your stay here a living hell if you cross me. Whoa. Hello? What was all of yesterday for? What? Your grip loosens. Sorry to get scary for a second. I'm so close to having everything under control here. I can't risk you messing it up like you've done with everything else this week. Start crying? Oh my days, that'd be me though. There'd be no other option if you should just start crying. How dare you touch me like that? Just trying to communicate with you. Clearly, my words have just been going in one ear and out the other all week. So if threats are what you need, threats are what I'll provide. That's crazy. Apparently, I don't even think I saw anything that crazy. What did you come up here to talk about, anyway? Just decided you wanted to bother me on the worst possible day to be bothered? Stella's still missing. We've been looking all over town for her and don't have any leads. Why do things keep happening to me? Please, can I just have one day where only one thing happens? Tabitha groans in frustration. I'm sure she'll turn up, but I'll see if I can get a hold of her. Don't think looking for my missing acquaintance gives you a pass to do anything dangerous. That worker was totally her mole on the strike. I don't know. I mean, it has to be something like that, right? That's so weird. So interesting. Because she even was like, try to not be seen by anyone else. Huh. You're forbidden from doing risky things, even for what you might think is a good reason. I'll wind up where I wind up. Those who seek to avoid doomed prophecies often fulfill them through their attempts to be free. Are you trying to tell me that destiny is what's compelled you to give me back-to-back migraines this week? Great. I can't wait to find out what ridiculous situation you wind up in today. I also wanted to see how you were doing with the strike, your mom, everything. Let's really talk. Did you really think I'd want to have some kind of heart-to-heart right now? Sorry, Scarlet, but I have work to do. Save your probing questions for some other time. Or never. I don't care which. You suck. I can't believe her. Oh boy. If not now, then when? I'm only here for a few more days. Every time we talk, we wind up fighting. Why would I want to spend time with you when you make the whole experience so unpleasant? Neither one of us likes the other. Let's just stay as cordial as we can until the week is over and we can go our separate ways. Love you, bye. Love you, bye. Don't be weird. You leave the office, the door slamming shut behind you. You find Kanika and Avery waiting for you outside. You don't look like you found any new leads. It feels like we've done our due diligence here. Come on, I'll drive us back to town and we can figure out our next move from there. Here I was thinking I had a heart-to-heart. Well, not really, but like kinda. With the last episode with Tabitha, but no. Oh, of course not. Very back and forth, and I don't know what to expect ever. Where to next? Oh. Okay, let's go to Stella's house. Oh, have y'all not checked Stella's place already? I was too nervous to go anywhere by myself this morning, in case I ran into any other horrors from beyond the veil, so no. And I'm gonna feel really silly if she's just asleep in bed. You make your way towards Stella's house. Kanika knocks anxiously on the door, and it creaks open. I was hoping there'd be mystical somewhere here. At least a little something something. The interior is cold, and not just physically. There is an absence of joy and life that leaves only a chill behind. This is the ghost of an empty house. There is a sobering dread that comes with the knowledge that your search won't end here. He's dead. Okay. I don't sense anything supernatural here, but I don't like the look of this. Might as well invite her. Whoa. Might as well invite ourselves in, right? Yeah, we should go in. Ooh, I'll be brave and go first. Avery casually steps over the threshold into Stella's house. Whatever happened to Stella, it doesn't look like it happened here. It doesn't look like there was a struggle or anything, unless it happened in another room, or maybe someone, or something, caught her off guard. You didn't have to add that last part. I'm going to forget that you said that, and just be thankful that this doesn't look like a crime scene. Stella's kitchen is slightly messy. A couple cabinets are hanging open, and a loaf of bread sits on the counter by a used butter knife. Is Stella's kitchen normally this messy? I wouldn't call this messy. It's a little messy. If this is a little messy, I don't want to know what you'd call my room. I wasn't judging. There's nothing wrong with a little mess. Or a lot of mess. We're getting off track. Stella's house has always felt a little sterile to me. This feels a little too lived in, if that makes sense. So maybe that's just because I've only ever been over when she was already expecting me. Maybe this is just a rare peek behind the curtain at the real Stella. The real Stella should call her friends and let them know she's okay. You make your way down the hall to what you assume to be Stella's room. She's not here. Though it's a little untidy, it's the usual sort of untidiness that accumulates when someone doesn't often have guests in their bedroom. There aren't any signs of violence. I better not hear a single comment about this room being messy. I wasn't gonna say anything. This sure looks like a room. Any thoughts? Think you about summed it up. This is definitely a room. Yeah, nothing much to comment on. This is what her room's been like for pretty much the entire time I've known her. The only thing that's changed is the computer getting a lot fancier. It could use a few houseplants. I'll put together some trimmings after we found her. She still does those corkboard with strings things. She loves putting the strings on there. I don't think they actually mean anything, but they're more for decoration, anyway. Let's move on. Okay, so maybe she came home last night. Maybe she didn't. But she's definitely missing. Thought I was overreacting this morning. I hope she would just be sleeping in. Can't believe she's actually missing. We'll find her. Where to next? Would Scarlet go anywhere else? No, probably not. I'm supposed to get tea with your mom today. Maybe she'll have some ideas. My mom wanted to talk to you? She's probably going to give you some rocks or bundles of herbs for protection or something. We can humor her. Let's do it. The bells of the general store chime welcomingly as the three of you enter. Nika, there you are. We're supposed to stay in bed today, remember? No, go away with that nonsense. Hello, you two. Hope you're both recovered from last night's fiasco. Sorry, Mom. It's just that Stella's missing and Stella can take care of herself. Unlike you. You need bed rest and lots of fluids. You don't need to go running around town spreading that cold of yours. Go on, get up to bed. I'll be up in a minute with more tea. I thought you had some kind of important thing to talk to Scarlet about. I'm really feeling okay. I want to hear what you wanted to say to her. I'll just be doing a tea reading. Haven't those always bored you to tears? Okay, you're right. I'm not feeling well. I should really lie down. Bye, Scarlet. Kanika turns and heads towards the stairs without saying another word. Oh, something isn't right here, but it's hard to put into words or pin it down into thoughts. And I'm sorry to be a bad host, Avery, but I was hoping Scarlet and I could do our reading in private. I'm sure Winnie needs help at the diner. Aw, you're right. I totally left her on her own today. Fine by me. I wouldn't want to mess with your tea vibes. I'm sure those leaves are very particular. Oh, but before I go, I did want to ask, are you a witch? As flattered as I am that you think I'm that magical, I'm just an old lady who likes tea and has a few unusual hobbies. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Real unusual. Look, I'm just saying, doing stuff like reading tea leaves is pretty witchy as far as I'm concerned, but I won't push it. Though, just so you know, if you are a witch, you can totally tell us. We'd be cool about it. I'll leave y'all to your not supernatural private tea leaf reading. We'll catch up tomorrow, Starlet. Avery places a hand on your shoulder. I'll miss you, but duty calls. They make their way out of the general store, disappearing down the street in the direction of the diner. Shall we? Sybil motions towards the tea room. There's no avoiding it, I suppose. Please, have a seat. I'll bring you a fresh cup. Take a seat at the small table at the edge of the room. Dark here. Only a sliver of sunlight able to filter through the heavy curtains, supplemented by the bright grow lights. Why did I think it said glow? That was weird. Over the plant in the corner. It's castor bean, an incredibly toxic plant. Uh-huh. And strange for a tea maker to keep around in her workspace. Mm-hmm. It's so pretty, though, is it? Sybil joins you at the table and places a cup in front of you. It smells light and citrusy, with an undercurrent of decaying earth. It's the same tea you sampled with Avery at the diner on Tuesday. I'll be able to do a reading once you're done. Until then, how about we just chat? So how'd you wind up in Scarlet Hollow? Oh, my family's been in these hills for a long time. That's how I know so much of the local flora. Everything I've learned was handed down from generations of hill folk. There hasn't always been a reliable doctor up here, especially not one most folks could afford. They have to figure out their own medicine. The other day you promised to tell me, what was it? Unsavory tales of my mom's youth. I most certainly did. I might have been exaggerating a bit for dramatic effect. I'm prone to do that. In a town this size, you get to know everybody, no matter what the age difference might be. Vivian was a little younger than me, which meant I always had a certain older sister instinct about her. Her family wasn't good to her. Her Lan was a lot like your great-grandmother, Edwardine, which is to say, she was not a very kind woman. Similar to Tabitha, but with more social grace and considerably more hatred for her fellow man. But your mother wasn't a shrinking violet either. She was just as stubborn as any other Scarlet, so her family choosing her as their punching bag made her into quite the rebel. Why were Perlan and my mom raised by Edwardine? What happened to their mother? Their entry into this world was violent, I'm afraid. Their mother was young, too young to be pregnant, especially with twins. She didn't survive the labor. What do you know about my grandma? I'm afraid there isn't much I can tell you. I think there were two in that generation. The youngest died when the girls were still children. Edwardine never spoke about them, nor did your mother. What happened when my mom found out she was pregnant? She came to me for advice. She was distraught. It was like she'd been handed a death sentence. Maybe it was fear from what had happened to her own mother. Maybe it was something else. But she seemed convinced she was in danger. Tabitha had already been born by then, of course, but she was born in wedlock, so I assumed your mother's worries had something to do with religion. Though the Scarlets weren't particularly religious, as far as I knew. But the way Vivian was that night she came to me, it stuck in my mind. It always had me wondering what it was about your family that made her panic so much at the thought of having a baby. Did the men even exist, yo? Like, are they there? I suppose they just haven't been very noteworthy since Edwardine took over the mines. Her husband died a long time ago, and to be quite honest, I can't even recall his name. Interesting. Might have been Stuart or something just as forgettable. From what Vivian said, her father was some teenage fling that ended once your grandmother found out she was pregnant. I'm fairly certain it was similar for Vivian, though she was much older, and I believe she was the one who ended it, what with skipping town and all. Oh? Is it because of this being the only, proceed thing? That's so... I love mystical so much. Sybil, why am I being forced to drink the tea? I should be able to decide not to drink it. What's wrong with me? Dear, I'm afraid I don't understand what you're trying to say right now. There's always a choice. It's quite an aromatic blend, though, isn't it? I'll take your enthusiasm for my tea as a compliment. Why is that an option again? Am I losing it? Her face changed. Dear, you just asked me that. You don't have to do anything. Dear, are you feeling all right? I'm starting to worry about you. Too much running around this week has clearly crossed up some of your wires. I'm just going to keep clicking it until I can't, until it's no longer an option. I'm glad I'm freaking her out. Oh, she's angry. Oh no. Oh, goodness gracious. Concern? That's what you'd call that? She's definitely getting mad. Okay. What's with all the mystery and ritual? If you have something to tell me, just come out and say it. I'll need your tea leaves first. I have pieces of the puzzle, but the tea leaves should help to give me the full picture. You take the tea, sipping it delicately. The citrus smell is fleeting, quickly replaced with the earthiness at its core, like you've taken a mouthful of dirt. But the aftertaste combines the two flavors into something soothing and medicinal, and you find yourself feeling more comfortable, your muscles relaxing for the first time in days. I don't trust it, personally, after that whole exchange. It's soothing beyond what you would expect out of ordinary tea. There must be something magical at work in this blend. Yeah, I don't like how happy you look, to be honest, after me drinking all the tea. The tea is gone before you know it, the small cup empty, save for what's left of rehydrated leaves coating the bottom. Oh good. Glad you found the tea palatable enough to drink. It should do you some good. It's one of my more medicinal blends. Now, on to business. Oh dear. This doesn't bode well. You've got just about every warning that can fit in the bottom of a cup. Cross, petal, hourglass. All of these mean death, misery, difficulty, and the hourglass ties it all together with definite urgency. It's fair to assume that this my brain. It's fair to assume that this all has to do with whatever brought the ditchlings. Something is coming, and whether any of us can stop it, I'm not sure. But we may at the very least be able to figure out what it is. And there's a central figure here, a cat, an enemy lurking in plain sight. I'd like to see. I'm sure it wouldn't make much sense to most people. It'll probably just look like a confusing mess of old leaves. But you're free to take a look. You take the cup, staring down into it. It's just leaves. There's no pattern, nothing swimming together in the dregs of your tea to give you any warnings or premonitions. After a long moment, Sybil takes the cup back from you. I hope that settled your curiosity. Don't worry if you couldn't make sense of it. It takes years to learn this sort of thing, even for someone with your propensities. She winks conspiratorially. Whoa. That's ridiculous. I'm scared. If she was the cat, why would she warn you about herself? You see, when Salem was playing through this part, that's what I said. Like, why would she even bring it up if she was the cat? That isn't you, though, is it? I just got chills. Literally, I got real life chills right now. Ignore it and speak your mind. How do I know you're not the cat? I suppose you don't, though I'd think the cat wouldn't exactly warn you about itself. Still, you can't rule anyone out, even the old woman with a tea obsession. You don't have to figure out an answer right away. It often takes time for the mind to connect the dots. Just be on guard, and keep vigilant that someone close to you isn't to be trusted. We know from these ditchlings that something terrible is coming your way, and it's likely that it's connecting to some hidden enemy. Perhaps we can try to counteract whatever might be planned for you. Is there anything you've seen these past few days that comes to mind? There is. The thought of those stones has pulled at the back of your consciousness since your encounter at the mines on Tuesday. Are these stones, or maybe carvings or seals? They have some sort of old demonic imagery carved in them. There is one in the mines and one in the house last night, and they keep giving me visions of the past and my family's history. Stones. I think you're onto something. Scarlet's built this town. Anything that can give you insight into your family's history sounds like exactly the sort of thing you should be pursuing right now. Have you sensed any others around town? Do you think you might be able to find another? Your thoughts drift to that door yesterday, the one that seemed to draw you in, urging you deeper into the clinic. Even just remembering it is enough to tug at you, compelling you to return and open it to see what's on the other side. You can find Stella later. Maybe you can even find her there. What's important now is finally seeing what's hidden in the clinic. You remain silent. I know it's probably not a comfortable proposition, considering what's happened around them the past couple nights, but anything that happens around those stones may be worth it if it means you're able to get ahead of your adversary and whatever threatens this town. I think that's all the help I can offer. I hope this conversation has been illuminating, even if it has just brought up more questions than giving any clear answers. You see, I don't want her help, but I kind of want to know how she'd answer. You helped last night. Why don't you come with me? I may have been able to see through that spirit's illusions, but I'm not some kind of all-powerful and You are such a big liar. I'm an old woman. I have trouble with my knees, and my eyesight isn't what it used to be. In most situations, I'd be more of a liability than a helpful companion. Imagine if I'd been in those mines with you. Some use I'd be, struggling to climb over rocks and ladders, throwing my back out from all the crouching. If I just leave without saying anything? You get up to leave the tea room. Thank you again for humoring an old lady and stopping by for a chat. With a small grunt of effort, Sybil gets up from the table and you're escorted back to the door. And remember, be careful who you put your trust in. According to your tea, the cat is getting ready to pounce. Merely being ready for it might not be enough. Sybil closes the door to the tea room. The bells of its doors, strangely flat in the stale air of the nearly empty general store. You're not going anywhere before checking in on Kanika. You make your way upstairs. Mom, I really don't need any more tea. I think I'm just going to lie down for a while. Uh, um, Not your mom. Oh, Scarlet, what's up? I could use a breather. Let's hang out for a minute. Sorry, Starlet. My mom was right. I'm exhausted. I probably shouldn't push it or I'll wind up worse off tomorrow. Looks like you're on your own. Gosh darn. Diggity darn it. You make your way up the familiar hill, past the rows of ragged houses that make up Scarlet Hollow's residential area. R.I.P. indeed. It isn't long before you find yourself outside of Dr. Kelly's clinic, its secrets enticing you to find a way in. Even at the bottom of the hill, you can already feel the presence. Like a magnet has been fixed to your ribcage, gently tugging you forward, guiding you towards whatever emits this compulsive frequency. What kind of mystical option is this? No one will see me. You found at times that if you haven't wished to be seen, there's been nothing stopping you from remaining hidden. Graveyards, abandoned buildings, old tunnels. You've been in all sorts of strange and unusual places without incident. And for some reason, tonight, Dr. Kelly's clinic feels no different. Very interesting. Very, very interesting. You haphazardly make your way up the old wooden stairs of the clinic's wraparound porch, taking steps in strange patterns. It is very freaky, but I think it is like my favorite trait. I don't know what that says about me. Hopefully, nothing odd. To an outside observer, you might appear to be drunk, but there's an unconscious method to your conscious madness, though even you would be hard-pressed to describe it. But there's no creak or moan of ancient wood as you make your way to the door. Silence. You push the door open slowly and slip in. You can see the doc at a desk in some room down the hall. She hasn't noticed you. You shut the door silently, watching her closely. You're in the clinic, free to explore as you please. Or rather, you're free to explore as you please. You can feel that odd sensation again, the nagging pull of whatever it was that wanted you to find it. You're here now, and it knows you're here. And you know exactly what it is. Another stone carving, eager to show you its secrets. You've been caught by its gravity, an overwhelming curiosity guiding you around a corner and towards a dark doorway under the stairs. It's been left ajar, as if inviting you to enter. Good morning, Reese. Scarlet? What are you doing in the morgue? Am I interrupting something? No, I was just practicing, I guess. Sometimes I just come down here to rehearse. I see. Being among the dead brings you comfort? I guess. I haven't really given it a lot of thought. His words seem distant to you. The tugging is strong down here. You can almost feel yourself slipping into a trance, and your eyes wander to the back wall of the morgue. You need to see what's back there. You touch the wall. It feels disappointingly solid under your palms. Hey, are you okay? You feel Reese's hand gently shake your shoulder, and for a moment, the thing on the other side of the blank white wall loosens its pull on you. You kinda looked possessed for a moment there. You good? Make him understand. Ooh! Use your words. Don't let this fervor consume you. Be present in the moment. You inhale deeply and take in your surroundings. You can't help but notice that one of the body storage drawers is labeled Perlan Scarlet. You step forward and pull out the drawer. So this is your Aunt Perlan, old Baroness of the Scarlet Mines and local she-devil that it seemed no one, not even her own daughter, was able to mourn. This is not the first corpse you've seen, but it feels the same as any other. She's an empty body now, the warmth and energy of a life now dissipated, the same as your mother was, and the same as you'll be one day. Cold air rises from her bluish skin, her vacant, filmy eyes staring up at nothing. You try to imagine what she may have looked like alive and breathing, slinging subtle insults at the townsfolk, but it's hard to picture any expression on a face so stiff and cold with death. Making sure she didn't walk off. She's totally faking it. Do you know how to check for signs of murder? Just wondering. No, sorry. Not unless there's a meat cleaver sticking out of her head or something. Doesn't look like that's the case, though. Just looks like an old lady. Having seen what there was to see, you slide the drawer back in and close it. The mines had a stone carving the other night, as did Oscar's house yesterday. They've been giving me visions, and I can sense one on the other side of this wall. I need to see it. Reese glances back at the wall. You're really serious, aren't you? This is probably a bad idea, but if you really need to get in there, I'm pretty sure there's an emergency axe somewhere upstairs. I just need to get the dog out of our hair. Should take 2 seconds. Get the doc out of our hair? Yeah, if I say I'm sick and need something, she'll drop whatever she's doing and do it for me. Surefire way to get her out of the house. And most of the time it's true, anyway. Doesn't that make her worry about you even more? There's nothing I can do at this point to get her to stop worrying about me. Might as well use it to my advantage when I can. Sounds great. Lead the way. Sweet. Be right back. He strides past you, his long legs moving swiftly. He seems excited, his usual dour demeanor replaced with an uncharacteristic pep when faced with the prospect of sneaking around and tearing down walls. Everyone's favorite pastime. You hear his soft voice filtering in through the open doorway at the top of the stairs, a hoarse and sickly edge added for effect as he speaks to his mother. Hey, Mom. He coughs gently. Peace. I didn't know you were awake. I still feel like shit, but I think I can finally try to keep some juice down. It looks like we're all out, though. Really? I thought I'd just pick some up. I've got an errand to run on Main Street anyway. I'll go pick up some orange juice. And some ginger ale, too. That would be awesome. Sorry to ask. I know you're probably busy. It's no problem. It doesn't take long. Don't do anything too strenuous while I'm gone. Just lie in bed until I get back. Thanks, Mom. Well, take it easy. You hear her footsteps move down the hall, then the front door opening and closing. It worked! The theatric rasp has left his voice, excitement rising in its place. Coming up. We don't have long until she's back. As you step out of the morgue, you relax. The extra space between you and the carving has weakened its hold on you, and with it, your desperation to claw your way through the wall and unveil it. It's one of those emergency fire axes, so it should be pretty obvious wherever it is, though I'm not sure where she would be keeping it. I'll show you around. Let's try the doc's office first. Make your way to the doorway of her now vacant office. Don't see an axe in here. He's right. A cursory glance reveals nothing but stacks of paper and cabinets of medical supplies. But something on the desk catches your eye. Some sort of records, with your family's name on them. He stops in the doorway, turning to watch you leaf through the documents. Find something interesting? They're your family's death certificates. Sleep apnea. Oh. Could you imagine? No autopsy performed. That's interesting, though. And Tabitha's middle name is Chrysanthemum. Wonder who cursed her with that mouthful. Aw, I think it's pretty. Edwardine Scarlet. Born April 9th, 1913. Died February 12th, 2003. Heart failure. Pretty normal. Almost made it to 90. Died of a normal old person illness. Interesting. Enoch Scarlet. Fall from cliff. Oh my gosh. That's not very nice. This one has a coroner's report attached. Organ sustained impact injuries. Lacerations to the neck and body consistent with fall from great height. Whoa. An actual autopsy report. Looks ancient. You quickly flip through a few of the other Scarlets whose names aren't quite as familiar. Theodore was crushed in mind collapse. Body not recovered. Aww. That's sad. That's right. You had a great uncle who died in the collapse. Both killed at Normandy in the line of duty. These must have been Edwardine's brothers. Infant boy. Whoa. Huh. That settles the question of whether you're related to Charlie, I guess. Missing and presumed dead. Hmm. Alexandra, the owner of the doll. So she went and it was the same day Enoch died in a hiking accident. Huh. Oh, that's a lot of kids to outlive. Time to whip out the old string and corkboard. Yeah, that's a pretty fitting achievement for that. The medical supply room is probably a good bet. A fire axe seems like something that might be useful in a room full of chemicals. It's just down the hall. There it is. Looks like it needs a key, though. You'd better not break the glass. I'd rather explain why I had to steal the axe after we've had a chance to use it. There must be a key in here somewhere. He stops, as if listening to something you can't hear. Shit, she's back already. As if on cue, you hear the front door to the clinic open and close, the creak of its antique hinges echoing down the hallway. Footsteps start down the hall. She's headed this way. Quick, we gotta hide. I'm not supposed to be in here. He opens the closet door and hurriedly motions you inside. You slip past him, scrunching into the small space as best you can. He attempts to slide in after you. Yeah, sure. You make space, and he slips in next to you, closing the door just enough that you can both still monitor the entrance to the supply room. Dr. Kelly storms in, plastic bag in tow. She takes something out of the bag and places it on the counter. And then she hurries back out, bag rustling as she makes her way back down the hallway. You'd better wait a second, just in case. The two of you stand in tense silence, both crammed into the suffocating closet, taking shallow breaths as if she could hear you breathing from the other side of the building. But the footsteps soon return. Dr. Kelly makes her way back towards your hiding place, creaking floorboards, broadcasting her location all the way to the hallway just outside your hiding spot. His head swivels suddenly. That was the door to the house. We're in the clear. Let's go. The two of you spill out of the closet. Reese quickly and quietly starts pulling out drawers, scanning them for keys. You can't help but notice what Dr. Kelly left on the long steel table in the middle of the room. A sprig of small, furry fruits. Castor beans. You sent them elsewhere in town, but for the life of you, you can't remember where. That was the thing that I pointed out when I was in Sybil's tea room, right? Oh, like that was the poisonous thing? It's crazy that it's like forgetting stuff already. I was just there. Why did your mom get castor beans? Yes, found the keys. He holds up a small ring of keys, each with a strip of colored tape on the head. What's this about beans? Oh, those weird little fruit things. Reese unlocks a cabinet and offers you the fire axe. Here's your axe. And I don't know. I've never seen them before. I'm not allowed in the supply room. It's probably some kind of medicinal plant, right? She took out a chemistry set too. Oh, come to think of it, she's not supposed to make medicine. She's not a pharmacist. This room is just storage for orders she gets from a pharmacist over in Brevard. Why would she bring something like that in here? This plant is not medicinal. It makes one of the deadliest poisons known to man. But she's not using it for that, right? Why would she give people poison? Do you know what she gives you for your supposed illness? No, I don't. She's never explained it. I thought it was just too complicated for me to understand, so she didn't bother. maybe she has some kind of information on it lying around here somewhere. That drawer over there is locked. If I were information on some mysterious alien-looking fruit, I'd probably be in a locked drawer, right? Good thing I already have the keys. He unlocks the drawer, pulling out a notebook. This is about me. There's stuff in here from when I was like 12. Some kind of diary or medical history or both, I guess. What the hell is this? Something about another episode. Guessing she's referring to one of my rough nights? Oh, here we go. There's some illustrations. He glances to the strange plant on the countertop. It's those beans you mentioned. She uses them to make my medicine. That's poison, right? He jerks his head towards the door. That was the door from the house. We've got to run. You follow Reese's instruction, once again starting down the basement stairs, letting the pull of the stone carving guide you back to the morgue. Dr. Kelly's voice filters down from above. I was right. We did already have juice. It was just in the back of the fridge. But there's no harm in having extra. What are you doing in the clinic? I thought I told you to go rest. Oh, I'm just gonna chill in the morgue. I got my speakers, so if you hear some weird sounds, that's just my music. I'll be sure to put in earplugs to drown out all that industrial clanging you listen to. You know I'm not the biggest fan of you spending time down there. It can't be good for your mental health to hang out in a refrigerator for corpses. Do you at least have a blanket this time? Yeah, I'll be fine. It's just a change of scenery. My room feels too claustrophobic right now. Okay. I'll let you know when it's time for dinner. You don't have to do that. I'll grab something from my room later. Sure. Whatever you're able to do. You hear the door close, and the sound of Reese descending the stairs to join you in the fluorescent lit room below. Good night, John. Thanks for hanging out. Hey. I should warn you. Something spooky might happen when we break down that wall. Reese smiles. Good. Feels like I've been missing out lately. Stop asking questions. It's time to see what's on the other side of that wall. Let's do this. I'd like to do the honors, if you don't mind. I've got some confused and angry feelings I'd like to express. Reese takes the axe from you and approaches the wall. He cuts through the wall with very little effort, unexpected from someone with his frame and condition, but you know his stringy muscles are backed by a mounting fury at what's been done to him. That goes a long way. He staggers back from the massive hole in the wall and admires his work. Holy shit. The splintered edge frames a dark passage, seemingly cut deep into the side of the cliff, gold seeping from a forgotten place into the already frigid morgue. Reese coughs as he takes a better look at what lies beyond the wound in the wall. There's a whole hallway back there. Thick, stale air leaks from the hole, filling the morgue with an earthy mildew smell, like the room is slowly filling with dirt. And with the stink of the grave-like room beyond comes an even stronger compulsion. You step forward, and you climb into the hole. This is wild. I had no idea any of this was here. An entire hospital wing, rotting away for decades behind some flimsy drywall. Someone doesn't want us to find these carvings. I wonder if it's whoever put them there, or if it's someone else. Whatever their reason, they went to a lot of effort to hide this one. I wonder if the doc even knows about this wing. You step forward into the unknown. You don't bother to retrieve the axe. The final wall concealing the carving is rotten, water damage having eaten away at the wood over the course of unknowable years, the planks nearly reduced to sawdust. You tear into it. Enoch, I thought you weren't going to come. I was worried you'd leave me here forever. They said there's nothing they can do. I'll never use my legs again. Enoch, what am I going to do? Calm down, Teddy. These doctors don't know what they're talking about. I've been doing my own research, and I found us an alternative. You won't have to worry about anything from here on out. I promise. I went to talk to the witch. A witch? But nonsense. It's all right. It's all sorted. We're taking you home today, and everything will be resolved by this time next week. That's right, Doctor. At this point, I think it's safe to say his body was never recovered. Whoever it was who claimed to be Theodore, it wasn't him. Wasn't even paralyzed, as it turns out. Just some grifter trying to take advantage of the tragedy. Everything goes black. Your vision swims back into focus, and it takes a solid second or two to reorient yourself. You're in an unfamiliar bed. Reese leans against the far wall, eyeing you with concern and curiosity. Hey, I was worried you'd slept into a coma or something. You tore down a wall like a wild animal, found some weird carving and collapsed. I think you might have had some kind of seizure. Are you okay? I had a vision, like a hallucination. I have those sometimes too. Used to have them a lot as a teen. Always just weird little things, like my hands would look wrong, or my neck would seem too long, or the room would feel smaller. At least one of those death records is murky. I don't think Teddy died in the mine collapse. My family has secrets. That's a weird thing to cover up, but that's not too surprising. An old family like that usually has at least a few secrets, but hopefully that's all ancient history. It's not like it's easy to cover up deaths these days, right? I should probably get going. Stella's still missing, and the stone here finally stopped yelling at me. That might be a little tricky. The doc is on the warpath up there. I refuse to take my medicine, and she's not happy about it. I'm sure you can understand why. There was no way I was going to take anything she gave me. She's been poisoning me for years. I've been thinking about what you said at dinner last night, and I don't see any other possibility. It's only been a day since I've stopped taking my pills, and I feel great. I went ahead and blocked my door, so she can't get down here. Now, we just have to wait her out. I don't get why your mom would poison you, though. I don't know. But it's all in here. She never outright says that's what she's doing. And the recipe she came up with to deal with my flare-ups, whatever she thinks those are, involves that weird plant that was on the counter. Those castor beans. You were right. And ricin, I don't know. Poisoning matches up with quite a few of my symptoms. The thing I can't figure out is whether she's been trying to kill me slowly, or if she just likes keeping me sick enough to be dependent on her. Either way, I don't think I ever had an illness. I think the illness was me growing up and becoming less easy to control. She sure found a cure for that. Ricin is really bad. How are you not dead? I don't know. Maybe it's low enough doses, or maybe I developed a tolerance. I think the fact that I feel more and more alive by the minute is enough proof that she was keeping me sick. I don't even need solid evidence. No matter what, we should get out of this basement soon. Where would we go? The only person I know who has a car is Kanika. She's not answering her phone. I don't know anyone else. I don't have any other family to go to. I never even finished high school. When I get out of this house, I don't know how I can make sure I don't wind up right back down here. You can stay with me if you want. And it's a basement, so it'll be familiar territory for you. Probably floods more often than you're used to, though. Even if there's constant standing water, that's still better than here. He smiles, his eyes distant as he imagines the possibility of such a life, undoubtedly for the first time. Thanks, Scarlet. You have no idea how much this offer means to me. But I guess we've still got to pass some time before we can get out of here. The distraction seems like a good idea. As you can probably tell, I'm getting a little jittery. Maybe it's the lack of poison in my system for the first time in years, or the fact that my whole perception of reality has been turned on its head. Probably a combo. It would obviously take more than a day for ricin poisoning to be out of his system. It doesn't feel awful, to be honest. What if your mom doesn't fall asleep? You shouldn't call her my mom. As far as I'm concerned, she's forfeited that title. I don't even think I should call her doctor. She's just some woman now. Can't wait for her to be in the rearview mirror of the rest of my life. If she doesn't fall asleep by 10, we can figure something else out. These windows are supposedly shatterproof, which she always said was for burglars. Now I assume it was yet another way to keep me boxed in. But we can try to break them, anyway. I'm chill with whatever. Well, I kind of only do two things. Paint and watch movies. I'm too jittery to paint right now, especially since I'll probably be leaving this basement and everything in it behind in a couple hours. So, movie it is. I believe I owe you a showing of Shino-Chi Deathblood. Reese gets the movie set up and joins you on the bed. Let me know if it gets to be too much for you. I'm not a great judge of how other people will react to the sort of things I watch, but I definitely don't want you to feel uncomfortable. This is a slow burn of a movie, but the dread it's managing to build is palpable in the room. Or maybe that's just how it feels down here all the time. What with the grisly paintings, lack of lighting, cinder block walls, and, of course, the fact that the woman currently lurking upstairs had been poisoning her son since his teens. I've seen a couple of this director's other films, and they're all interesting, though this is probably the best introduction to his work. The way it jump cuts to seemingly unrelated TV show recordings that then wind up tying back into the narrative adds a level of realism and depth to the world that I find really engrossing. It's found footage used to its fullest. I can't believe I'll be able to just do things from here on out, like watch movies with another person, or talk to people, ever. You can hear the difference in energy now that Reese hasn't had his daily dose of poison. He's uncharacteristically chatty, clearly not used to talking to another person, let alone when he has the energy to carry on a long conversation. Something is changing inside of him. Reese, you feel different. Like your whole personality is changing. Is everything okay? Everything is more than okay. I haven't felt this good in a think I've ever felt this good. A man on the screen yells portents of doom into the camera, trailing off into a wordless scream. The plot is really heating up. I love that there are all these distinct sorts of vignettes, little pockets of horror that affect a small number of people, and only once you start to see how they fit together can you realize some fundamental horror about the universe. And then it sees you back. Incredible. Cosmic horror in the truest sense. Reese is becoming very animated. It's probably safe to assume that he's dealing with a lot of extra adrenaline right now, what with his entire reality turning out to be a lie. But he's also talking over the movie. It's more than just something that's changing in Reese. It's everything. There's a knock on the window. Scarlet, don't get any closer to that thing. It's time to go home. That voice, I know that voice. Without another word, Wayne starts pounding on the supposedly shatterproof window. Enemies upstairs, enemies outside, we're surrounded. Even if I get out of this house, I won't be safe. You won't be safe. What do you mean? Wayne isn't going to hurt you. He hasn't hurt anyone. Yes, he will. Furious with me. Can't you hear it? But I'm not weak anymore. I can fight back. I don't have to cower in fear from the people who want to hurt me. I can protect both of us, Scarlet. The window shatters. As Reese tears at his clothes, paint bubbles out from the canvases, his ghoulish figures peeling themselves out of their two-dimensional worlds, invading yours, crawling up the walls. Grab my hand, I'll pull you out. Leave us alone. In a surge of violence, the change that has been brewing inside Reese finally comes. As it manifests, the broken basement window is sealed off, and Wayne along with it. You're insane, but you're strong. I think I can save us. Stay here. I'll be right back. I just have to deal with the dog. Reese storms up the stairs, leaving you with his creations. Call your cousin's number. What mess have you gotten yourself into now? Reese is gonna kill his mom. Also, he's a werewolf or a vampire or something. A what? I always knew there was something that smelled off about that kid. Stay put. I'm on my way. Don't get eaten. Your cousin hangs up the phone. You make your way to the door that beckoned to you yesterday, all intrigue now washed away. You know where it leads, and you know what secrets the stone that lurked in the forgotten basement of the clinic had to share with you. Now the clinic holds a new horror. Somewhere beyond the narrow hallway, leading from the house proper into the doctor's office, there's a monster, preparing to do something unthinkable. You grasp the handle and turn. Duck. It'd be so funny to be like, don't tell me what to do. You do as she says, ducking out of the way. She shoots. The gun isn't very loud. There's only a pop as the projectile leaves the barrel, whizzing through the air. You turn to see a dart embedded in Reese's chest. He pulls the tranquilizer dart out from between his ribs, heaving heavy breaths as the drug courses through his system. You're going to have to try harder than that, you... No. How did you... As if you could hope to stop me, you pathetic waste of flesh. Before Wayne takes another step down the stairs, paint flows out between cracks in the wood, Reese's panic pulling in a mob of furious creatures to hold his enemy in place. The artist darts away, but his creations continue their work in his absence. Dr. Kelly makes her escape down the hallway as Wayne is overcome, glued in place at the top of the stairs by stiffening globs of paint. You rush out of the main entryway, taking cover in the first room you see. A few seconds pass. Things are quiet. Hey. Dr. Kelly's voice crackles out of some unseen speaker. You, Scarlet, I'm stuck in the safe room. I can't help you from here, but you can help the both of us. What, so you can keep poisoning him forever? Christ, is that how this happened? You helped him sleuth that out? Well, good job. Now you get to see why I would choose to give my own son lethal doses of poison every day. If I don't, he turns into a murder machine. Now listen to me. You're in the medical storage room, right? I need you to use the black taped key to get into that cabinet and bring me the elephant tranquilizers. It's a bottle labeled Harfentanil? Harfentanil? Bear tranquilizers clearly aren't gonna cut it anymore. An intercom system, huh, Doc? Good. You should hear this. Starlet, you don't have to do anything she says. I'm not gonna hurt anybody else. Just her. If I don't, you and I both know she's just going to shoot me full of elephant tranquilizers? Did I hear that right? Shove me back down in that basement, or maybe someplace even worse, and keep killing me every day for the rest of my miserable existence. I feel amazing right now. Better than I've ever felt in my life. I'm not dangerous. She's just scared because she knows she has to finally pay for what she's taken from me. I'm not going to let you kill someone, Reese. Why not? She wasn't afraid I might die. Does she know those tranquilizers aren't going to kill me? Does she care? Trust me, Reese. I've always been careful with your medication. I want you to live. I love you. Tell yourself whatever lies you have to, Mom. If you wanted a good relationship, you had your chance. And you decided to convince me I was dying, instead of just letting me exist. Don't try to spin it like some kind of crime of passion now that the consequences are staring you in the face. Enough. Reese cries out in pain. Oh, what the hell did you do to my shoulder? I'll handle it. Try to get somewhere safe until then. The two stagger off down the hallway. Quick, grab the tranquilizers and head to the safe room. Let's do this. You make your way out of the medical storage room and back to the hallway where Dr. Kelly disappeared. As you approach, Dr. Kelly heaves open the door, slowly breaking apart the massive paint, sealing it shut. Hurry, I don't think I can keep it open for long. You slip past her into the safe room. She shuts the door quickly, though one of the little smears manages to slip past her. She stomps on it. Painted viscera splatters across the cement floor. Sounds like Reese and your friend are still fighting. We probably have a few minutes before he gets here. While we're at it, any other secrets you're keeping? Maybe. If you both just survive, I might decide to share a few more. If you don't go tattling to anybody. What is this room? Old x-ray room. Lead walls. After I realized this whole situation was a possibility, I had the door reinforced with special remote control blocks. Glad it could finally come in handy. What's the game plan, both short and long term? Well, I pump him full of elephant tranquilizers, then I lock him in here. Then I somehow convince him to see things from my perspective. Then we all live happily ever after. I see no flaws with this plan. Sarcasm. That's so Scarlet of you. It's okay. I know it's not a perfect plan, but it's better than the alternative of being torn to shreds by my own kid, having to figure out how to kill someone I love who may or may not be unkillable. Yeah, I bet you have some questions. Go ahead. I have nothing left to hide. How did he not know what he was? I had been medicating him since he was 12. We've only had 3 incidents like this before. Maybe 4, depending on what counts. This is the worst one by far. He doesn't seem to understand at first that he looks different, and I just make sure to stay on top of his dosages so he rarely ever does. But I've been preparing for this inevitability. He's an adult now. There's only so much I can do to control him. How did you settle on ricin? Dr. Kelly gives you a long, hard look. I don't want to talk about that woman, but screw it. I might die tonight. Sure, I'll tell you. And that's all I have to say about that. Was his dad similar? A strange little smile creeps onto Dr. Kelly's face. I wish I knew. Reese just kind of happened. I wasn't seeing anyone. I just woke up pregnant one day. I know how impossible that sounds. I'm a doctor, for Christ's sake. I kept having these weird dreams, almost like sleep paralysis episodes. Romantic sleep paralysis episodes. They were actually kind of sweet. They were just dreams. But then, all of a sudden, my period stopped. I got morning sickness. And, roughly 9 months later, Reese. How do you know he's dangerous? Well, he wants to murder me, so that's clue number 1. Not like he's usually a violent kid. He's mostly just sad. But every now and then, we butt heads, and that's usually when this side of him comes out. Imagine if this happens anytime he gets frustrated with anyone. Imagine he gets road rage one day, turns into a 12-foot tall monster with a million teeth, and rips somebody apart in the middle of a major metropolitan area. Yeah, he's dangerous. The I can fix him is so funny. Don't you think it might be a self-fulfilling prophecy? Oh, don't preach to me. Be a sweet kid most of the time. Absolutely. And Ted Bundy was sweet to the people he picked up off the side of the road. Didn't mean he didn't go ahead and slaughter them anyway. I know what my son is capable of, so it's my job to make sure he doesn't hurt anybody. The relationship between you seems so difficult. Yeah, you could say that. He was such a cute kid. When I found out I was pregnant, I was terrified. I didn't know if I'd be ready. He made me love being a mom. It's not like it was going to be sunshine and roses forever, no matter what. Kids grow up and they change. Sometimes for the worst. This is part of being a mom too. Doing what you can to make sure the child you brought into the world isn't going to go around eating people. Very important life lesson to all kids out there. Why did you start poisoning him? Dr. Kelly sighs. Can we stop calling it poison? Yes, it's poison, but the act of me giving him poison was not me poisoning him. I was medicating his illness. It started when he was around 15. I've been giving him increasingly high doses of clonopin, but his body kept adapting and his symptoms would come back, especially if we ever fought. I couldn't keep ordering all those drugs. It was already suspicious and I could risk losing my license, especially if anyone ever found out what I was using them for. Someone approached me with a solution. I took it, and I've been dealing with the emotional and mental consequences of that decision ever since. What is he? At first, I thought he was some kind of werewolf. But if he is, he doesn't follow any kind of full moon rules or anything. Silver doesn't do shit to him, and you've seen what he looks like. It's just weird. I almost wish I could examine him while he's fully transformed. I'd be fascinated to know what happens to him, or how his body does it. But he seems pretty hell-bent on ripping my throat out, so I guess that'll just have to remain a mystery. You and Dr. Kelly sit in silence and wait for her son to make his way to you. The sound of distant breaking glass cuts through the silence of the clinic outside the safe room. Shit, this might be game time. Get those tranks ready. We have to get this door open before he crosses the hallway. Dr. Kelly opens the door. The two of you stare out into the hallway. Hi, Reese. You look like you're doing great. Is this what you were so afraid of? And over the tranquilizers. This is our shot. You've convinced yourself he's evil. You'll never give him a chance to just exist. Stop messing around and hand them over now. A shot rings out. Reese's body is thrown to the wall. Shotgun in hand, your cousin rounds the corner and trains her weapon on his writhing body. Tabitha, what are you doing here? Stop it. Let me sedate him. We can deal with this non-lethally. Are you insane? That thing was trying to kill you. You leap forward, placing your body between Tabitha and the whimpering Reese, his face already trying to stitch itself back together as he writhes on the ground. Scarlet, what the hell do you think you're doing? Don't kill him. He's still a person. Person, my ass. Did you see his face? Both of you shut up and help me drag him into the safe room. Now. You turn to see Dr. Kelly already pulling her son towards the open doorway. Tabitha swings a gun onto her back, huffily jumping in to help Dr. Kelly. It's not long before his regenerating body is sealed away behind the door. Not exactly how I thought that would play out, but at least none of us are dead. If you've done any permanent damage to him, you're gonna be the one paying for the medical supplies, Miss Scarlet. You aren't seriously going to keep that thing alive, are you? It's clearly dangerous. Makes you think you can keep it locked up. It is my son, Miss Scarlet, and despite appearances, he is still human. I prefer you refer to him as such. And I've managed to keep him safely locked away and harmless for years. Sure, it'll be a little more difficult now that he knows about his condition. That room is lined with lead. He's not going anywhere. He's human? Are you sure about that? Are we talking about the same guy? Trust me, I've done genetic tests. He is human, somehow. And it's my job as his mother to protect him. And protect people from him. It's not a burden I take lightly. You don't have to worry about him getting out anytime soon. He's a monster, but even monsters deserve a chance at life, Tabitha. Don't give me that line. He was about to eat both of you if I didn't show up. I don't care what your ethics are. I care about my cousin not being digested by some 12-foot freak with a million teeth. You don't have to defend him, Starlet. I have a lot of cleaning to do, and I don't feel like entertaining a couple of bickering cousins while I do. I prefer it if both of you could just forget what you saw and move on with your lives. My son is my business. You and your cousin leave the clinic, Dr. Kelly slamming the shotgun-blasted door behind you. The two of you make your way to the bottom of the hill, where Tabitha's car is parked among the sleepy houses of Scarlet Hollow's residential street. She places her gun in the trunk and turns to face you. You're alone right now. Is Stella still missing? I tried calling her a couple of times, but I kept getting her stupid voicemail. Yeah. Shit. Let me think. It's a long shot. There's a place that might be worth checking out. We're going on a hike. After a bit of a trek, you and Tabitha stop by the edge of a 2-lane road near the town limits. There, sitting on a log, staring mournfully out at the asphalt, is Stella. You watch her from the underbrush. Great, she's alive. Let's go. How'd you know she'd be here? Her parents died here. If you were Stella, where would you go after you'd just been possessed by a ghost? Doesn't need me to solve her problems. I don't think I even can solve her problems. Seeing her alive is all the peace of mind I need right now. Let's go talk to her. I know you two like each other. Please, for the love of God, don't drag me into the middle of that. Oh. It's purely platonic, but let's go talk to her together. Maybe that'll be easier. I said no. I'm going to make this easier on both of you and just go home. Before you can say another word, your cousin's already turned and left. You take a step forward, gravel crunching under your feet as you walk along the edge of the road. As you do, you turn to look back behind you. Tabitha is already gone. You sit on the log beside Stella. Starlet? How did you find me? Tabitha knew to find you here. She left once she knew you were okay. And then she just left, huh? That's Tabby for you. Everything's fine, though. I'll be ready to go home soon. You remain silent, hoping Stella opens up. Stella faces you for a moment, desperate eyes trying to force out words a part of her thought she would never have to say out loud. Then she turns back to the road. This is where the accident happened. My parents died on this bend in the road. They were taking me to college. I was lying in the back seat. It had just rained, and the sun was finally coming out. So happy. And then, in an instant, just like that, survivor's guilt would have been enough even without the heckin' decapitation. Sorry. No, it's probably a bummer to talk about. It's awful. Really messed me up for a while. I think I'm still messed up. There's whole years of my life after the accident that feel like they just never happened. Like every time I try and remember them, it's blank. I have all these videos sitting on my channel that I don't even remember filming. Scary. At least it hasn't been like that for a while. Thank God. Oh, I never talked about this stuff before with anyone. Not even Tabitha? Not even Tabitha. Not for lack of trying, but I don't know. Maybe I did something wrong. There's so much I don't remember. For all I know, I was terrible to her. The two of you stare out at the road. I think the accident is probably why I got into ghost hunting. I think I just wanted to see them again. I want to know whether I even could. I never found anything, so I eventually gave up. And last night happened. I ran out here to see if maybe it would happen with them too. Even if it meant seeing the crash again, or seeing them all messed up and dead. I just wanted to see them. It's been a whole day. I don't think they're coming. They're probably somewhere better than whatever hell Charlie got trapped in. I hope you're right. I thought a lot about what might come after. Whether they're somewhere else, or if they just stopped existing. Guess we've seen at least some evidence of the afterlife. I hope that means that there is a good version too. Where they're still on that long car ride, listening to Dad's tapes, with a place in the back seat for me when I eventually catch up to them. And then it won't matter that I never got to say goodbye. You could always say goodbye now. Stella sits in silence for a long moment, her breath slow and even. Goodbye. I love you. Don't worry about me. I'm gonna be fine. She's silent again, as if waiting for a response. It never comes. But she smiles, a lively glimmer returning to her sad eyes. That kind of felt better. I don't think I realized how much I'd kind of trapped myself in my own head. Thank you for breaking me out of it. She straightens up, stretching her neck. Gretchen hops down from her lap, tags jingling in the quiet night air. We should probably head back, right? I haven't slept in a day. You keep the events that transpired at the clinic to yourself, at least for now. I don't suppose I could ask you to walk me home? Of course, lead the way. She smiles. She scoops Gretchen up under her arm, and the three of you make your way back down the mountainside, returning to the sleeping holler below. And this is me. You want to come in? Oh my days. I like all the different for the different romance things. Oh goodness, I wasn't expecting to have the romance option with her. Like, I know that Tabitha was like thinking that there was something there. Oh my days. Sorry, Stella. I think it's better if we just stay friends. Stella's expression sinks a little, though she tries to hide it. Oh, jeez. I thought... No worries. I'm just gonna not awkwardly head inside and see you tomorrow. But thanks again for coming out there to find me. I didn't realize how much I needed to just talk to somebody. See you tomorrow. She She gives you a tired wave before retreating into her house. It's time for you to get home. He appears, as if out of nowhere, clothes streaked with what at first looked like blood and gore, but you quickly realize is paint, evidence of his altercation with Reese. I'll walk you. Thanks. I appreciate the company. Shall we? Wayne walks just ahead of you, in near complete silence. Why are you following me around? Why not Stella, or Kanika, or Sybil? Why not Tabitha? Because you're special. But why? Why am I so special? You simply are. Do you not feel the ties that bind us? They are unbreakable. I'm very curious. How do you flirt with the lady? Oh, goodness. Hmm. Try to take his hand into yours. He pulls away as you reach forward, leaving you grasping at air. A thoughtful gesture. But you don't want to do that. I wouldn't wish to frighten you. What? There will be a time and a place. Bond we could share, Starlet. It would be deeper than any bond you can form with anyone else. What does that mean? Huh? I found my family's death records today. Things aren't adding up. Good. You're starting to see the holes then. Look for more. Did you know Reese was like that? I knew he was different. How exactly, I wasn't sure. But now I know. I thought you wanted me to stay at the estate. Aren't you going to lecture me? You were free to make your own decisions, and those decisions have been made. I know that something pulls at you, and now that it's started, I know that you cannot stop until your task is finished. I'll keep you safe while you do what you must. Thanks for looking out for me tonight. Anytime you find yourself in danger, I'll be there for you. I will always be there for you. Oh. I thought you might have done something bad to Stella. Didn't have to. She didn't have it in her to stand by your side. Remember that. She won't be there if you need her. Huh. Seems like Reese gave you a run for your money. Wayne emits a strange kind of coughing sound. You realize he's laughing. You managed to catch me off guard. Those constructs of his were an interesting little trick, but that's all they were. I'm sure we'll see each other tomorrow. You should try to spend some time in that old building before you head to town. Tabitha won't be around, too busy at the mines. Forbidden places won't be forbidden without her there to stop you, and you might be surprised at what you find. Until then, sleep well. He disappears into the underbrush. The estate feels empty, wind howling through its abandoned halls, the very foundations creaking beneath you. Your cousin must have already gone to bed. Exhausted beyond belief, you stumble into your room and collapse on the bed. The damp smell of the mattress is starting to become almost welcoming. a sign that the now daily horrors of Scarlet Hollow are finally behind you, at least until the sun inevitably rises once again. Close your eyes, your exhausted body succumbing to sleep almost immediately. As you drift off, you think of Reese, trapped in that tiny, windowless room, all his greatest fears realized, his body no longer his own. But you stopped him from killing Dr. Kelly. The world, at least for now, is protected from him. And then you think of nothing. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy.